Holy Roman Empire and Texas Republic existed only 30 years apart. Cite your work. Us. 50-year-old plane in my head and a 50-year-old plane in reality. I love Italy. From Japan. Love from Germany. Germany, Italy, and Japan. Oh no. Oh dear husband, the men with beards are truly thou fairest. Oh, so now you like beard? You like the new clean style? Oh, clean and I want a divorce. No one. Trench raid clubs. Bonk. The test pilot of the USAF's first jet fighter dressed as a gorilla to mess with other pilots. Doc, I'm pretty sure I saw a gorilla wearing a hat flying a plane with no propeller. Take your meds. Archaeologists be like, we aren't sure what these signify. The site in question. Hobbies of nobles in medieval Europe. Falconry, boar hunting, jousting. Meanwhile, nobles in medieval Japan. I just sit here and look at the flowers. Witches aren't real. Witches are real, and they work with the devil and do spells. It's all in this book. Witches aren't real. Having a country named after you. Having an entire historical era named after you. Having a salad named after you. Psychologists in the 70s. I am going to create an experiment that is so unethical. Imagine farting inside of this. It would kill you. Imagine being a Native American in 1492 and seeing this bizarre thing step off a ship when you warn your country about the dangers of a two-party system, but the citizens and their descendants don't listen. Countries not recognized by Bhutan. Bhutan, after not recognizing half of the world. I don't care if Bhutan recognizes us. Where even is Bhutan? But like this is in Asia. Okay, but if you had to guess, roughly, when do you think you'll be home from battle? World War II. The surviving war veterans. It's getting less and less. No. Straight men 300 years ago. They wore wigs, makeup, robes, high heels. Straight men today. New research suggests that some men avoid green behavior, like using a reusable shopping bag at the grocery store because they don't want to be perceived as gay. Me, hungover. I don't remember what happened last night. Why has NATO blocked you? Everybody. Wow, the Spartans held an entire army with only 300 men. They were so cool. Meanwhile, some Norwegian dude with an axe. Officer, no, we can't have a bear. Polish army, gets a bear. Officer and bear a week later. Being prepared as a virgin sacrifice. You're making a mistake. I do the deed all the time. Stops his ritualistic chanting. Name the one who takes your seed, your mother. When was empathy invented? 1909. People have funerals in 1908. Your parents are dead. I cooked a meatball. Money, please. Trees are scary. I know. When British rappers talk about drive-bys, this is what they're talking about. Is convinced mosquitoes carry the yellow fever. Intentionally lets himself be bitten. Gets sick and proves his theory. Dies. Cowboys were so cool dueling and collecting bounties. Yeah, that really was the wildlife. Meanwhile, average cowboy. Some weirdo tried to instigate a duel to the death, so the sheriff locked him up. Ah, the great Diabetes Maximus, who was the real hero of World War II. Truman, Winston Churchill, removed. You're a woman in the 1200s who is being accused of witchcraft and they present the evidence. You've got a lot of cats. One of Jesus's most underrated alpha moves is just assigning new names to his followers. Greetings, O Lord. My name is Simon. I'm going to call you Peter from now on. Britain then. We shall rule the world. Britain now. Anyone got a Siggy? We don't call them Siggy. Religions over the tiniest details. Religions agreeing that a tree of life is cool. Love knows no border. Neither does Alexander the Great. Banks when they make profits. My profits. Banks when they lose money. Our losses. Texas succeeds from the USA. USA 5 minutes later, knowing they have oil. The Aztec high priest stopping a cannonball flying right towards him after sacrificing 20 people to this god. No, you can't know the height of the pyramids. Only Ra, the sun god, can. I just calculated it. When they were doing all of this, was anyone getting any action? Yeah. Happy D-Day, Grandpa. I meant B-Day. Just giving your grandpa PTSD. French artillerymen attempt to stem the tide of the German offensive never done. 1917. Genghis Khan at 1.69 meters tall. And Napoleon at 1.69. If Snapchat existed in World War II, invading France with my besties, they got rid of the Indian and kept the land. How American. Most powerful economy of the 17th century. A flower. Modern travels. We have a 5-hour flight ahead. This is unbearable. Medieval travels. It will take us half a year to get to the Holy Land. Let's go! Being ghosted today. Bro, my girlfriend left me on red for 3 days. Being ghosted in the 18th century. I am now under the greatest anxiety and suspense. Not knowing whether I write to the dead or the living. Not having heard the least syllable from you the last 4 months. 5 mass extinction events, including the Permian that killed over 95% of ocean animals. Horseshoe crabs. The Habsburg royal family every time they had a child. world? Is he smart or is he like me? Money never made a man happy yet, nor will it. The more a man has, the more he wants. Instead of filling a vacuum, it makes one. Also Benjamin being on the $100 note. Britanni, Aquitani. Caesar, that's not how it works. Germani. How people think muskets worked. High accuracy, low precision. The actual problem? Low accuracy, high precision. Bought the 4th of July M&Ms specifically to do this. Please help him, he's dying. But does he have insurance though? No way. Wait, I'm Albanian now? George Washington, watching his army of hillbillies and farmers defeat the British. Pepsi becomes the 6th most powerful military in 1989. Australia, after being bumped down to 7th place by a soda company. Africa has thousands of different cultures with tribes varying in size. Europeans drawing the borders. Rectangles. Reject modernity, embrace tradition. As long as the AC works. Modern historians versus ancient historians. The troops' numbers were exactly 55,000 infantry and 3,000 cavalry. Now listen to the exact speech the general gave. Oh hell nah, how are they hunting with no profit incentive? Living is profit. Tobacco is so cool because it kills parasites, and if you believe in nanobots, them too. TLDR, cigarettes ward off demons. What's really messed up, but we are pretty much okay with it. The garbage pile the size of France floating around in the ocean. That's just France. French people seeing this. Military officers, when they discover shell shock and PTSD are actually a real thing, and they've been sending mentally wounded troops back into combat for centuries. Let me just say from the bottom of my heart, my bad. They apologized? What's your religion? Asking 100 Russians. I follow alcoholism. Proving that you are not a robot becomes more and more difficult. Select all images with Finnish snipers. Arab soldier. Sir, we left a little mountain range unconquered to the north. Arab general. So what? That's populated by 200 people at most? What's the worst that can happen? I'm finally back home after 10 years in Troy. My wife has many suitors, and if they know I'm alive, they will surely kill me. I must disguise myself as a beggar. Nobody will recognize me. Oof, the dog recognized him. Political debates in the USA. My opponent is bad for this country. No, you're worse. Political debates in Rome. Hey, Cicero, how does it feel to get done in by your wife? In the good old days, your mother would have thrown you pirates in fiction. I'm gonna steal all your money and then eat you alive. No, you're a maniac. Pirates in reality. Regarding the economic crisis we are facing, I have no other choice but to rob you. Don't worry, I won't hurt you. I'm not a savage. No problem. I know there's nothing personal there. Getting drafted, thinking you got into the NFL. Getting handed a helmet and a rifle. Really hope this doesn't manifest to be true. Mexicans in the 1800s. Those damn Americans, they come to our country, take our jobs and can't even speak Spanish. Gets violent. Kind of reminded me of like a motorcycle starting up. Jeez. Getting violently disemboweled and then having your skull split open with an axe. Peacefully dying in bed surrounded by your family. It's like, hey, you know what I want to do today? I want to die the most painful way possible. You killed the king. This isn't what King Richard wanted, but on a second thought. Imagine going through a bad breakup in 1823 and then Beefy Oven Drops Moonlight Sonata, a fully restored Panzer, being removed from the basement of an 84-year-old German man. God forbid men have hobbies. Cnut the Great. We were on the verge of greatness. We were this close. Britain, watching as the funny lines they drew 100 years ago turns into a war zone once again. Looking at the list of countries that didn't commit war crimes, it's blank. When it's made in Western Europe, made in Germany, Italy, France. When it's made in Eastern Europe, made in EU. They don't know I'm the Emperor of the Romans. Day 41. The trucks still do not realize that I am a tank. How's the job search going? How close was Rome to an industrial revolution? It's going pretty well. Do you realize that divorcing your wife is a crime? Please show me the law. I'm not reading that. Well, Henry didn't read it, he just changed it. The Troubles in a nutshell. 100% British and Irish beef. Danish royal naming flowchart. What is your name? Christian? Frederick? Name your son Frederick. Name your son Christian. Medieval European historians. The battle was so catastrophic and bloody. God has truly abandoned us. Army sizes, 1,000 and 1,200. Casualties, 47. First Japanese embassy to Europe, 1582. You guys can touch my robes. Thank you. Philippe II kisses them on the cheeks. Thank you. Arrives back in Japan. The Europeans weren't savage, and I think we should become Christian. No, you're all exiles now. It's verified because it's notable in government, news, entertainment, or another designated category. Verified because it's subscribe to Twitter Blue. Bronze Age peasants be like, I have my whole life ahead of me. No, you don't. The sea people are coming. The Mongols are really cool, of course, but it's also just sad to read about their conquests. What do you mean that this is all that remains of one of the greatest cities in the world history? Imagine being an alien, thinking this is a tropical island, but you land somewhere like Birmingham or Bradford. Promise you won't cry? I promise. From 1913 to 2013, I won't cry. That's a nice island you got there. It would be a shame if somebody turned it into a peninsula. Japanese military during World War II forces thousands of women into being comfort girls for troop morale. The US, they had so much milk, they put Dairy Queen on a Navy boat. Let's destroy the pagan pyramids. Right away. 8 months later, we're still not done? Screw it. I study Roman history, especially Roman military history. Wow, you must be so smart and cultured. Yeah, not a cell phone in sight, just people living in the moment. Beautiful. The insert any special force team is outside. Insurgents, hostages, the Spetsnaz is outside. Insurgents and hostages. Not a cell phone in sight, just people living in the moment. Patrick Henry, give me liberty or give me death. His wife that he locked in his bunker for being depressed. Norway in the Middle Ages. Norway in the rest of history. Norway now. When your mama thinks you're on drugs, but you actually are just contemplating the next inevitable capitalistic crisis. And you're also on drugs. Do you plead guilty? Which? More weight. Archaeologists be like, pretty sure this one's from the past. Are you winning, my sons? I won, Dad. Big bro, just wait. Next time I will be the one who wins. We won, my sons. Ancient Egypt in 2500 BC. Finally, another pyramid that shows my greatness. 9000 BC. Here are the instructions to build a fusion reactor. Well said. Inside you there are 2 Greeks. One is from Sparta, one is from Athens. Both are gay. Does your dog bite? No, but it can hurt you in other ways. Only 1% of ancient literature has survived. The British and Dutch throughout history. You're here too? Yes. Texas Mousetrap is not real. It can't hurt you. Texas Mousetrap? No punch, man. The British Empire so scared. You said there was only a spice trade. Where are my artifacts, John? Hannibal Barca, after wiping out 20% of the Roman male fighting population just in one single battle, when he realized that the Romans are still not giving up. Europe, babe, it's time for another coalition against Napoleon. Yes, Britain. Me, after playing a game about the First World War. You know, I'm something of a historian myself. Nobody. French tank designers. Almost 100 years between these two. Can you imagine the next 100? I'm actually more struck by the fact that it's been 100 years and we're still driving cars. These two are closer together in form and function than I would have expected from a 100-year gap. I mean, the way we develop it just kind of explodes. It's like a... If you go back 300 years from now, way crazier. Dudes be like, don't say Chinese culture because China has many cultures. My brother, every large country has many cultures. Roads, railroads, seaports, roads that didn't take to Rome. Ancient Chinese people. Snakes are insects, spiders are insects, shrimp are insects. Biologists, no, snakes are reptiles, spiders are arachnids, shrimps are crustaceans, insect is insect. POV, you colonized the new world. Some goober in Mesopotamia invented agriculture, and now I have a credit score. How is that fair? Wolf truce on Eastern Front. Wolf packs are getting out of control. Wanna hold a truce and hunt them down? In Pirates of the Caribbean 4, the Spanish arrive, destroy the MacGuffin that everyone is fighting over, say it's an abomination against God, then leave. Never before has the Spanish Empire been so accurately represented. The Japanese after getting electronics from the West. Oh bother, said Pooh as he chambered another round. 19th century nationalism. 20th century? Most destructive flood in the Nile. Calmest day in the Yellow River. I have just fallen off a train, I am the President of France. And I'm Emperor Napoleon. Killing wolves became a national policy under the Meiji Restoration, and within one generation, the Japanese wolf was extinct. Why were they killing wolves? I'm looking this up. Oh, they were threatened to livestock. They were labeled as harmful animals. Mongol princess, Huhutalan after beating up the 10,000th guy who wants to marry her. Give me a horse. Precision bombing now. Which door of the moving vehicle do you want to hit with the Hellfire? Then, we're over the city, boys. Bombs away. Well, people think we're traditional samurai weapons. What were actually traditional samurai weapons? In 2008, Vermont prison inmates were being used as labor to make decals for cop cars. They edited the design to hide a pig in the image. 30 cop cars drove around Vermont with the hidden pig for 4 years before it was discovered. The French. We have learned from our past. We will never let so much power be in the hands of a single person. Minutes later. Napoleon OMG. Bonjour. Evolution. Can you give me lungs for land? To live on land? Yes. Actually goes back. What? Goes back the water like a boss. Okay. I thought I was reading this wrong, but no, this is just typed wrong. Cannot subsistence farm. All they know is local tavern. Stare at thy sundial. Show thy ankle. Prima nocta. Consume spice and utter falsehoods. Ancient Greece. Bow before my two gods, my superior intellect, and my immaculate physique. I invented the Olympics and the alarm clock. I have the greatest philosophers. I am the conqueror of nations. Home to toughest warriors. Learn my geometry and medicine. You can't make statues as good as me. Read my books. Learn how to survive 2020. My wisdom is immortal. Modern Greece. Help me. Germany, my economy is weak. Arabic poetry can be absolutely gorgeous with the way poets express these beautifully complex emotions so easily. And then there's this. She has a butt below a slender waist that oppresses us both. It tortures me when I think about it. And it tires her when she moves to stand up. What expectations? Please give us a rest. We're tired of winning. We've got the Spanish on the run. Reality. My god, the crabs, they're eating the corpses. 1940 Zuma. Joined as a drummer because of his inner muse. Will brag about how a girl kissed him during the farewell parade. We're gonna be dining in Moscow in a week, boys. We'll bleed out in a ditch in 2 months. Everyone else in his class signed up. Yo, we kinda looking fresh. I've seen in some Viking martial arts that their shields were soft enough to be penetrated so the enemy's swords would get stuck. This is kind of smart. And they have no weapon. West Virginia, 1921. Here's a pamphlet that says, I do hereby command all persons engaged in said insurrection to disperse. Striking mine workers. I can't read. Take me to the man named Diogenes. Yes, sir. If I were not Alexander, I shall wish to be Diogenes. Move a little to the right. You're blocking my sun. Pooh and Piglet begin to feel a cold indifference to the conditions of the jungle. All that matters now is slotting the drinks that cut Eeyore's throat. He didn't even want to be there. Piglet has had enough. Pooh, let's do the whole village.